Hello. Here to talk about a few more things. I would like to start with, I know a couple days ago, I believe it was August 6th, that there was a report or someone at the Federal Reserve, announced that this FedNow program that has been in the making since 2013, and it's just fumbled here and there over the last 7 years, is now officially finding a place to move forward. What does that mean? Well, 2019, August 2019, I believe it was, they said FedNow is ready. They've cleared stuff up. They've got it operational, to say lightly. And now this year, 2020, they came out the beginning of August, like I said, and they're saying this is going to happen. We are, aggressively working on this. And what is FedNow? There's not a lot of information out there now, but there's some information and some speculation. Just looking at this, one of the action plans for the FedNow is to centralize monitoring by the FedNow service. That means everything that is used for payment, for purchase, to transfer funds, whatever it may be, will be monitored. How exclusively, I am not sure, but if history tells me anything, that means it's going to be not exclusively. It's going to be very intrusive, and it's going to be, flooded everywhere for everything, so they have all the information that they want. So efforts by the global stablecoin networks, if you want to call it that, as Facebook's Libra, are hoping to hop on board of this thing. And I do know, on that note, there's been a lot of speculation that XRP, which is a currency or a cryptocurrency from Ripple, the company Ripple, and XLM, another kind of cryptocurrency from the company Stellar Lumens, that is, have had their eyes set on something like this. I believe that Ripple's been more involved. For instance, I'm going to read a few notes here that I have. Jess Chang worked at Ripple from 2015 to 2018. And before that, she worked at the Federal Reserve in New York. That was from 2011 to 2015. Then, during that time that she was at the Federal Reserve, the FedNow was created. Well, that time, who was there? Christine Lagarde. Christine Lagarde was there. Well, that name means nothing right now, but I'll tell you in a second. IMF, in 2000, she was at the, Chess Chang was at the IMF from 2018 to 2020, so January of this year. Then she left this year, and she became the senior counsel, Federal Reserve Board, on the Federal Reserve Board, senior counsel of that January of this year. So she left the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, and now she's at the Federal Reserve Board. She's a senior counsel member there, starting in January till currently. So back to this Christine Lagarde. March of 2018 to September 2019, Christine Lagarde was working at the IMF the same time Jess Chang was brought on to the IMF. Coincidence? I say hard-pressed to say that. Christine Lagarde has always had wonderful things to say about Ripple and how much of a game changer Ripple would or could be. Now, Christine Lagarde is the president of the European Central Bank. So Christine Lagarde and Jess Chang have sort of had similar ongoings at, whether it's the Fed, the IMF, back with the Fed. Now Lagarde is at the European Central Bank, and Chang is back at the Fed, and she's a high-dealing federal board member. And now this FedNow thing is really being implemented and pushed behind the scenes, soon to be here. I know there's some speculations about this saying, and there's been some writings, not a lot, but there's been some. So by 2022, FedNow will be fully integrated with consumer purchasing, that kind of stuff, and possibly even go further out to commercial stuff. By 2025, the whole end game, the whole goal of this is a cashless society. Right now, it's going to be driven, or the driver, that's going to be FedNow, that's going to be the new system. And the way the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, it has nothing to do with the federal government, has been giving money and printing money and creating money and giving it to other countries to make other countries dependent, just tells me, I have a hunch that this FedNow thing's not just solely American. I believe they want an outreach of a whole cashless society that's got a one world currency coming from FedNow. Whether it's going to be accepted easily or not, I believe that's a push. I haven't read anything specifically on that, but I've read a lot of stuff that alludes to that. Anyways, I want to say that I know there's SWIFT connections there too. SWIFT is an exchange place where that's how different countries relate things. They buy and sell oil, that kind of stuff. It's all through SWIFT and using the American dollar. So why am I bringing that up? Well, there's a connection there that this Marcus Treacher, who's at SWIFT from 2010 to 2016, now is currently at Ripple. So as soon as he left Ripple in 2016, as soon as he left SWIFT in 2016, from then to now, currently he's at Ripple, and he's directly on the board of Ripple, which he was just at SWIFT. SWIFT is an exchange thing from country to country for oil, for whatever the commerce that need to be between nations or countries. SWIFT was the way to do that. And now this gentleman is at Ripple. Maybe these are coincidences. I think not. I think too many coincidences start to become not coincidences. So I just had to get this out there. Look into this. Do your own research. It's coming, is my feeling. But on that, another note, I just want to say also, I know I've mentioned preserving your wealth and protecting yourself and your family and that kind of stuff. I have not mentioned this. Another medal, if you want to put it that way, that out there that my family and stuff has been pursuing has been firearms, weapons, as far as guns and that kind of stuff. Whether that's for hunting, which comes in handy for a food, that kind of stuff, and also for protection, self-protection, self-preservation, that kind of stuff. So I know we purchased many firearms over the years. We use them to shoot at the range, to target shoot for a sportsman kind of thing there. Use them for hunting, like I said, personal protection. It's on my belief, it's just great to have the knowledge and the know-how when it comes to that kind of stuff. I believe we've had many classes. We've had our carry permit classes. We have other classes. I believe that it would only benefit if those classes, firearm safety, firearm classes, even carry classes, just the knowledge that you learn there and you pick up from that is beneficial so much and should be taught in schools. At least for an option, I believe it will do no harm and only good. There's a saying that is people are afraid of things they don't know. So people are uneducated in certain things or don't know certain things, so that brings fear. So people are worried or fearful of something they don't know. Once they learn or figure out or get accustomed to it, that fear goes away. For just an example, years ago my wife was very afraid of guns. She didn't know anything about them. She didn't want to be around them. She didn't want to see them. She didn't want to use them. She didn't want nothing to do with them. She was scared. She knew nothing about them. So as the years had gone by, a long while back, I was able to, comfort her and address her and tell her, at least you should at least get a class, or at least go to the range, at least start to learn this thing, at least get a little bit of knowledge. So fast forward years later, that scared, that frightened, that unknowing has turned into a tremendous passion. She loves hunting. She knows, a ton of what there is about guns, how to handle, best way to use things, best way to protect yourself, best thing to use for hunting, how to, bait, how to, whatever, everything that's needed. Target shoot, she's learned that tremendously. It's been great. And if you ask her to this day, she'll say yes. I was worried, I was scared tremendously because I knew nothing. Once she gained that, she had a respect for it and a great understanding of it, and it became a passion. And it's not scary anymore, and I feel it's a great thing to do. So with that being said, I just want to say out there, I'm putting these videos out just to try to get some knowledge out there that I've gained over the years. And if this helps somebody, that is great. I just want to thank you again for watching. Any questions, put them down. I'll be more than happy to answer. I will be putting out videos again, hopefully weekly, if not sooner, on different subjects of the matter. But I just had to get this out there, do a little research in FedNow, do a little research in firearms, if that is something you think you would like to not have a fear for, or something that you want to continue pursuing. Anyways, thanks again for watching. As always, stay vigilant, protect your wealth, and protect your health.